Your name is being called in heaven. Friends, have you ever noticed how the enemy tries to distract you from everything that can bring you closer to God? He uses social media, negative thoughts, and even discouragement to pull you away from the truth. But here on this channel, you'll find messages that uplift your faith and shield you from these traps. Subscribe now because every click is one more step in your walk with God. Don't let the enemy win. Beloved, your name is being called in heaven. Right now, in this very moment, a divine message is being sent directly to your heart. Can you hear it? It's not a coincidence that you're watching this. The Lord, in His infinite wisdom, is trying to reach you before it's too late. This message carries a profound warning, but also an incredible hope. Have you ever felt like something was tugging at your soul? Like a quiet voice whispering deep within, urging you to pay attention? That voice is calling you now. God sees what you cannot. He sees the crossroads ahead, and He's reaching out to guide you. There's a storm brewing, one that could shake the very foundation of your relationships, your faith, and even your purpose. But here's the good news. You're not alone. The same God who created the stars and holds the universe in His hands is calling you by name. He wants to prepare you, to strengthen you, and to teach you how to stand firm. The words you speak are more powerful than you realize. They can heal or they can wound, build or destroy. And right now, they are shaping the path ahead of you. God is urging you to listen carefully to His guidance, because in 3 days, a moment will come that will test everything you hold dear. But take heart, for this is not a warning of despair, but a call to action. God is inviting you to align your words with His love, to speak life into your circumstances, and to trust in His divine plan. Can you imagine the transformation that awaits if you choose to listen and obey? Stay with us, because in the coming moments, we'll explore how to recognize God's call, how to respond with faith, and how to reclaim the blessings He has prepared for you. This journey is just beginning, and what lies ahead could change your life forever. The power of your words. Your tongue is a small part of your body, yet it holds unimaginable power. Life and death lie within it. It has the ability to create hope, joy, and peace, but also to destroy trust, love, and faith. Right now, God is calling your attention to this profound truth. He's seen how your words have impacted the relationships closest to your heart. Think about this. When was the last time your words brought comfort to someone you love? Or when did they unintentionally cause harm? Sometimes, we speak out of frustration or fear, forgetting that every word we utter leaves a mark. God is urging you to reflect, to be mindful, and to remember the divine power your words carry. God's love is calling you to return to the power of kind and uplifting speech. Do you remember the times when your words brought healing and unity? That's the purpose He intended for your tongue. But lately, the enemy has tried to sow impatience, anger, and judgment into your speech, creating cracks in the bonds you hold dear. Here is your second chance to pause, to reflect, and to realign with the Lord's guidance. He is showing you the path back to love, harmony, and restoration. But He's also warning you. In 3 days, a situation will arise that will test the strength of your words. This moment can either rebuild what has been broken or shatter it further. Before we continue, let me remind you, friends, have you ever noticed how the enemy tries to distract you from everything that can bring you closer to God? He uses social media, negative thoughts, and even discouragement to pull you away from the truth. But here on this channel, you'll find messages that uplift your faith and shield you from these traps. Subscribe now because every click is one more step in your walk with God. Don't let the enemy win. The Lord is calling on you to act now, to use your words as instruments of healing, and to align them with His love. Humble yourself, apologize where you've wronged, and listen without judgment. This isn't a time for pride. It's a time for compassion and humility. The angels are ready to assist you, but the choice is yours. Will you speak life, or will you allow fleeting emotions to guide your words? God has given you the authority to declare His truth over your life and the lives of others. Will you use it? Stay with us as we delve deeper into how God equips you with His wisdom and strength to overcome the trials ahead. The answers are closer than you think, and they start with the words you speak. As the Lord speaks to you, He warns of a significant test that is approaching. This test will come in just 3 days, a moment that will challenge your faith, your relationships, and the very foundation of your trust in God. The Lord is revealing this to you now, not to frighten you, but to prepare you. He sees what lies ahead, and He is giving you the tools to navigate it. This event will expose the hidden tensions, unspoken wounds, and unresolved misunderstandings in your closest relationships. It may feel sudden to you, but God has seen it building for some time. He wants you to act now, to take the opportunity to change the course of what is to come. This isn't a random occurrence. It's a divine appointment. In these 3 days, the Lord is urging you to reflect on your words and actions. Will you speak words of life or words that harm? Will you choose love or allow pride to guide your heart? He wants you to humble yourself, to apologize where you've caused pain, and to listen with an open heart. These steps will prepare you for the test ahead and ensure that you emerge stronger. God's call isn't just about this moment. It's about transforming how you approach every relationship in your life. Think about the one you love most. That person has been placed in your life as a divine gift. But every gift requires stewardship. Neglect and harsh words can choke the beauty of a relationship. But care and love can make it flourish beyond what you ever imagined. The 3 days ahead are not just a test, but an opportunity for growth. The Lord is calling you to trust Him, to follow His guidance, and to surrender your worries to Him. He is offering you the chance to rewrite the narrative and to bring His light into the darkness. As you prepare, remember this. Friends, have you ever noticed how the enemy tries to distract you from everything that can bring you closer to God? He uses social media, negative thoughts, and even discouragement to pull you away from the truth. But here on this channel, you'll find messages that uplift your faith and shield you from these traps. Subscribe now, because every click is one more step in your walk with God. Don't let the enemy win. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into how God is equipping you for this challenge. He has given you everything you need to triumph, and the victory will be yours if you trust in Him. Let's explore the spiritual strategies that will help you overcome and thrive. As the test draws near, the Lord speaks about the profound power of your tongue. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, He says, reminding you of the ability your words have to create or destroy. What you choose to say in the coming days will shape not only the test itself, but the future of your relationships and spiritual journey. The tongue is small, yet mighty. It can build bridges or erect walls. It can comfort or wound. The Lord sees how, in moments of frustration or fear, you have let words slip that have caused harm. These words have created invisible cracks in the hearts of those you love most, even if they haven't said anything. But God also remembers the times when your words brought joy, healing, and peace. That is the power He wants you to reclaim. In these next 3 days, He is calling you to align your tongue with His divine purpose. Your words must flow from a place of love, humility, and grace. The Lord challenges you. Will you use your words to build or destroy? Will you let your emotions control your speech, or will you invite my Spirit to guide your tongue? God doesn't ask for perfection, but He does ask for surrender. Surrender your pride, your anger, and your doubts to Him. Speak words of encouragement and kindness. Acknowledge the pain you've caused and seek to make amends. The Lord promises that when you speak life, His Spirit will move in ways you cannot imagine. The Bible offers endless wisdom on the power of speech. Proverbs 15 verse 1 reminds us, a soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. The Lord asks you to lean into this truth. Think of how a gentle word can calm a storm, or how a harsh one can ignite a fire. Your words are more than sounds. They are spiritual declarations. Take a moment to reflect. What kind of words have you been speaking lately? Have they been uplifting or damaging? God is giving you this time to change your trajectory, to replace anger with love and doubt with faith. Your tongue is a gift, and it's time to use it as a tool of healing it was meant to be. Friends, have you noticed how the enemy tries to distract you from everything that brings you closer to God? He uses social media, negative thoughts, and even discouragement to pull you away from the truth. But here on this channel, you'll find messages that strengthen your faith and protect you from these traps. Subscribe now, because every click is a step closer in your walk with God. Don't let the enemy win. As the third day approaches, the weight of the test becomes clear. God reveals that this is not merely a trial of words, but a test of the heart. He calls you to examine yourself deeply, to identify the emotions and struggles that have influenced your actions and speech. This test will expose the hidden tensions and unresolved pain in your relationships, and it will be an opportunity to heal or harm. God gently asks, what burdens have you been carrying in silence? What fears and frustrations have taken root in your heart? He reminds you that these burdens left unchecked can spill over into your words and actions, affecting those you love. The Lord sees the moments when you've lashed out, not because of others, but because of the battles within you. Yet He does not condemn you. Instead, He invites you to lay those burdens at His feet. My child, He says, I am your refuge and strength. Bring your pain, your doubts, and your fears to me. Cry out to me in your moments of weakness, for I am here to comfort you and to guide you through the storm. The Lord also calls you to humility. This is not a time for pride or self-defense, but a time to approach others with an open heart. He instructs you to listen, truly listen, without interrupting or assuming you already know what the other person will say. He challenges you to apologize where you've gone wrong and to forgive where you've been hurt. God's promise is clear. If you act in humility and love, He will guide your steps. He will soften hearts and bring healing to wounds that have long been ignored. But He also warns of the consequences of ignoring His call. Words left unspoken and apologies withheld can lead to regret and separation. In this moment, God is asking for a choice. Will you let Him work through you, or will you let fear and pride keep you from His plan? The angels are watching, ready to assist you, but the decision lies in your hands. As the test draws near, God shifts the focus to the incredible power of your spoken words. He reminds you that words are not just simple sounds. They are seeds sown into the spiritual and emotional realms, capable of building bridges or creating barriers. Your tongue has been entrusted with the power to uplift and inspire or to wound and destroy. My child, He says, do you remember the times when your words brought peace, healing, and joy to those around you? That was my intention when I gave you the gift of speech. But lately, frustration, anger, and doubt have crept into your heart, and these emotions have seeped into your words, causing cracks in your most cherished relationships. God's voice is firm yet loving as He explains the gravity of this. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, He declares. With one word, you can mend a broken heart or deepen its wounds. This is why I am calling your name in heaven, to remind you of the responsibility you carry. The Lord provides guidance for this critical time. He urges you to speak words of life and not of despair. He encourages you to bless others with your speech, to offer apologies where you've wronged, and to listen without judgment. He even gives practical wisdom from Scripture. A soft answer turns away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. Proverbs 15, verse 1. God's promise is clear. When you speak with kindness and love, you invite His peace into the situation. When you choose words of life, you align yourself with His will, and He will bless your efforts. But when you speak out of anger or bitterness, you open the door to strife and division. As the third day approaches, the Lord reminds you of the importance of forgiveness. Forgiveness cleanses your heart and transforms your words into vessels of healing. He challenges you to let go of past hurts, not only for the sake of others, but for your own freedom. When you forgive, He says, you are releasing chains that have bound you and others for far too long. In these moments of preparation, God calls you to be intentional. He asks, what kind of harvest do you want to reap? Will your words sow seeds of love and understanding, or will they scatter seeds of discord and pain? As the journey continues, God shifts his focus to the transformative power of prayer. My child, he begins, do you realize the immense authority you hold when you call upon my name? Prayer is not just a ritual. It is a divine connection, a bridge between heaven and earth that unleashes my power in your life. He paints a vivid picture of what prayer does. It's like a shield that guards your loved ones, a light that pierces through the darkest situations, and a voice that commands angels to move on your behalf. He reminds you that prayer is not merely asking, but aligning yourself with his perfect will. When you pray, you are not alone. I am near, listening, and ready to act. God reveals the unique power of interceding for those you love. When you stand in the gap for them, he explains, you are fighting battles they cannot see. Your prayers surround them with my protection and draw them closer to my purpose for their lives. The Lord shares practical guidance, showing you how to approach prayer with confidence. He encourages you to pray from a place of gratitude, acknowledging the blessings he has already given. He urges you to declare protection over your loved ones, speaking his promises aloud. No weapon formed against them shall prosper. Isaiah 54, verse 17. He challenges you to pray for their minds and hearts, asking him to guard their thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Pray for their faith to be strengthened, he says, and for their steps to be guided by my Spirit. He even reminds you to pray for their physical well-being, asking for healing and protection from harm. But most importantly, God calls you to pray for their purpose and destiny. I have a plan for each of them, he says, plans to prosper them and not to harm them, plans to give them hope and a future. Jeremiah 29, verse 11. Through prayer, you can help them walk in the fullness of this divine calling. The third day has arrived. As God foretold, this day will bring a test that has been brewing for some time. My child, he says, do not be afraid. You are ready. The words you have spoken and the prayers you have offered have prepared you for this moment. The event begins subtly, almost unnoticeably, but soon grows into a situation that challenges the very foundation of your relationships. It might be a difficult conversation, an unexpected conflict, or a moment of decision that demands humility and grace. But as you face this test, you remember God's words. Speak life, not death. Choose love, not anger. You notice the power of your intentionality. By speaking words of kindness and offering forgiveness, the atmosphere begins to shift. Where there was tension, peace begins to emerge. Where there was doubt, trust is restored. You see the impact of your obedience to God's guidance, and it fills your heart with hope. This test is not just about you. It's about demonstrating the love of God to others. Through your actions, they witness a reflection of his grace and mercy. They begin to see that his love is not just a concept, but a reality that transforms lives. As the day unfolds, you feel a sense of divine assurance. God's presence is tangible, and his promises are being fulfilled right before your eyes. The bonds that were once strained are now strengthened. The wounds that seemed unhealable are beginning to mend. As the dust settles from the third day's test, a profound peace envelopes you. God's voice resonates in your spirit once more. My child, he begins, do you see the fruit of your faithfulness? The seeds you have sown with your words and prayers have begun to bear fruit. This is only the beginning of the transformation I have planned for you. God invites you to reflect on the journey. He reminds you of the challenges you faced, the moments of frustration, fear, and uncertainty, but also the victories achieved through obedience and love. Your willingness to align your tongue with mine has not only restored what was broken, but has opened new doors of blessing. He speaks of the future with hope and promise. This experience was not just a test, but a foundation for what is to come. I have great plans for you. Plans that require a heart tuned to my voice and a tongue that speaks life. Continue to walk in this newness of life, and you will see miracles unfold. The message concludes with an invitation. Now, my beloved, go and be a light in the darkness. Share the truth you have learned. and encourage others to speak life into their situations. Be my ambassador of love, forgiveness, and hope. Finally, God reiterates his call to action. Friends, have you noticed how the enemy tries to distract you from everything that brings you closer to God? He uses social media, negative thoughts, and even discouragement to pull you away from the truth. But here on this channel, you find messages that elevate your faith and shield you from these traps. Subscribe now, because every click is another step in your journey with God. Don't let the enemy win. As the video concludes, viewers are encouraged to reflect on their own lives and relationships. Think about the words you speak, the prayers you offer, and the choices you make, the narrator urges. God is calling your name in heaven, inviting you to step into his divine purpose. The video fades out with a reminder to comment, subscribe, and share the message. Thank you for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know how God has been speaking to you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Let's continue this journey together, growing in faith and love